Welcome back, everyone. Sheepdog Smokey here, and it seems rather ironic to me that we're not hearing as much about stories like this as we are about non stories like Russia or the like. But it seems that Elijah Cummings may have some problems based on how much money his wife made from companies that had business before his committee while he was chair. Now, his wife, uh, let's see here, Maya Rockymore, operates two companies. One is a nonprofit, Center for Global Policy Solutions, and for-profit Global Policy Solutions LLC. And while he was serving as chairman of the Oversight Committee, you can see here that Rockymore's Global Policy Solutions received a lot of backing from Google, JP Morgan, Prudential, a lot of them who had business with him. But you see, once Johnson & Johnson, the charity, or the Johnson & Johnson charity, the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, once they stopped contributing, Cummings instantly became a vocal critic. Now, I can understand that a couple where the husband is a very public figure, if a company just stops doing business with his wife's organization, they're not going to be happy because that is going to impact the household income. It impacts the wife's company. It impacts stress and so many other things. But we're hearing more and more every day that we must hold Donald Trump or Ted Cruz or Lindsey Graham or any of the conservative voices in government, we must hold them to a higher standard. Donald Trump is not supposed to speak ill of anyone. He is to be held to a higher standard. Why is it then that a congressman is not held to the same standard where he doesn't use his position as a member of the U.S. Congress to badmouth an organization that no longer contributes to his wife's for-profit company? And that's a very simple question. Ultimately, it's going to be one that is not answered because Cummings is a normal Democrat, and he'll play this off as you're just being racist because I'm black, you don't want me talking. But you can also see there are some other things. You can see here that I believe I've actually. Oh, no, there it is. When a powerful chairman of a committee of the House of Representatives has a wife that is bringing in money from entities with interest before his committee, and she is not providing the transparency mandated by the IRS, there's a serious problem. The potential for corruption in this situation is simply off the charts and can't be understated. We hope Chairman Cummings works with his wife to end the stonewalling and provide the public with what's legally mandated all charities provide. If we go up just a bit here, we look at this, the money that they earn, it shows that the organization is required by law to turn over their nonprofit records, and they refused. Now, this is especially interesting in the current climate. You see, Democrats on Ways and Means, chaired by a man who has said he'd release his taxes but never would, Representative Neal, while they subpoena and cry and whine and order and demand and scream that Donald Trump turn over his personal and for-profit business tax returns for 5 years, Elijah Cummings' wife won't turn over hers, which are required by law. You see, there's not currently a law requiring that the president turn over any of his tax returns. In fact, in order for Ways and Means to subpoena them, they have to have a legitimate legislative reason. Now, if you follow Twitter, or if you're on Twitter as much as I am, and you follow enough people, apparently an Obama appointee has sided with Ways and Means. It's not going to end there. Very simply, it's going to be appealed and probably go all the way to Supreme Court, where personally, were I the attorney for President Trump, I would simply say, what is the legitimate legislative reason that the Ways and Means Committee says they have to see these returns? And then when Ways and Means either provides a crap reason or says we have a right, simply reiterate, by law, there must be a legitimate legislative reason to subpoena a citizen's taxes. Remember also, this is not Miss Rockymore's tax returns that the statement earlier was about. This is about her non-profit organization's tax records. And, of course, anyone who has a bit of logic in their brain knows If there is a law stating you have to turn something over and someone doesn't, they're hiding something. They're waiting for their accountants to say, okay, it's all now, it looks right. And this is getting almost no coverage. I'm getting this from the Independent Journal Review. Why is this not all over the Wall Street Journal, a financial paper, or all over CNN or MSNBC? And the answer is very simple. This is a prominent Democrat's wife whose nonprofit organization is violating the law. And that's not a story to them. To them, the only story is President Trump won't just bend over and bow to the Ways and Means Committee. We already have Nancy Pelosi on record stating that Congress is the superior branch of government, which she is wrong about. You see, they are not superior. Congress legislates. They introduce bills, they debate them, they ultimately vote on them. If it passes, it must be signed into law by the president, who will execute said law. If there is a question about it, it goes to the judiciary, which will interpret the law. But Democrats don't care. You see, for more than I've been alive, almost the last 100 years, in fact, more than twice the time I've been alive, Democrats have tried to impeach every Republican president almost immediately. They had started on Nixon because of Watergate, and he resigned, which gave us Ford. And given just a couple of years, we had Carter. As soon as Reagan won, of course, they started looking again. Iran-Contra came up, and Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North fell on his sword for the president and was drummed out of the Marine Corps. Colonel North went on to have a distinguished career with Fox News and a distinguished time with the National Rifle Association, which of course Democrats can't stand because they couldn't ruin his life. One almost wonders if General Flynn is somehow getting the blowback because they couldn't destroy Colonel North. But the ultimate question is, why is this not getting any coverage? Why is it a senior member of the U.S. House of Representatives who sat on a very prestigious committee and in fact chaired it, why is his wife allowed to break the law? And that question needs to be asked. We need Elijah Cummings and Maya Rockeymoore to point blank be asked, why is it that Miss Rockeymore's non-profit organization has refused to release their tax information as is required by federal law? Get it on camera if you're able to actually ask either of them this question, because I would love to see the video of either of them saying you're a horrible, racist, sexist, bigot, Nazi, Russian bot. That's all they have left is personal attacks. They used to at least have ad hominem that, well, President Trump isn't releasing his and non sequiturs, but now it's just identitarian. You ask them to release their taxes as is required by law and you're a racist Nazi bigot. They demand and try to subpoena President Trump's, and they're just trying to do what's right for the country. Unfortunately, it's not going to end well. And if what I've been seeing, as far as what's being investigated still by the Department of Justice, it's not going to end well for a lot of the people who demanded a 2+ year investigation be protected. I'm almost curious if Representative Cummings will decide he's been there long enough and resign. After which you'll hear, well, I'm a private citizen, I don't have to do that. One wonders if Miss Rockeymoore will step down from that organization before it crumbles and takes her down with it. It's going to be interesting to watch for sure. But I've talked about this long enough. Let me know what you think. Remember, when you comment below, to keep it civil. We do not learn from argument, we learn from debate. Please remember also to like and share this video, as well as to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you're among the first to know of all new content as it is posted. Until next time, everyone, have a wonderful day.